But I mean, I would think that something like optimize, seemed to me to be kind of destined to.
It was coming, whether it was
develop.
that or not. So what is it about it that makes that the case? That like this is sort of a wave that was just, it's happening, and it's somewhat about the people who are involved individually, and there's all these. I mean, we just went way down in the weeds of history there for a second, which who knows if that's interesting for other people, but so there's some of that, a lot of that. People are very, very important in the turns of history, and but there's also this sense of like, but it was going to happen either way, not necessarily with these particular people. Maybe it wouldn't have been me, it wouldn't have been called optimize, wouldn't have been, you, it wouldn't have been, but something like this is happening. I wonder why that is, and what about that is exciting, and what about that is scary in terms of thinking about the directions it could go. Because you've said before that you wavered when you were in the position of responsibility for this, when it was at such a pivotal moment. You sort of some days would feel so great and excited about it, feel like this is the way things should go, and then other days you'd wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh no.
Oh no, I am in partnership with a student organization.
Right.
Yeah. So I think part of the moment that we've been living in, for at least the last decade, really has been young people who are not impatient. That's not the right word for it. But so for those young people for whom optimizes slogans, why not me? Why not now? Why not now? You don't have to wait.
Right.
Till you're, quote unquote, grown up to, to build things and to try and change things and to have an impact. I think, again, when young people started to arrive on campuses with that kind of sensibility, that to me kind of signals that something like optimize or these other large-scale clubs have a kind of inevitability to them.
Yeah.
Especially at a place like Michigan that has resources and that by that point had been primed to, take a couple of steps back and let students build things on their own.
Yeah.
So I think, it was a confluence of things that in this moment that optimize was heir to on the one hand and parent to on the other.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of, again, right thing at the right time, at the right moment, with the right sensibility that really fed a narrative about liberal arts education that really fit in with what the leadership of the institution was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So again, I think when I talk to students about institutional change or any kind of change, I tend to emphasize the question, who are you going to ally with?
Yep.
And kind of what are you going to be able to offer to get what you want in return?
Yeah.
That those kinds of managing those kinds of complex relationships, and I can think of really no better education for really talented, bright, committed young people to have, just on the ground about what it's like to navigate institutional power.
Oh, absolutely. This clip came from a longer episode of the Why Not Me podcast. Find it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.